Okay, so today I'm going to be doing some pussy willows, and I think their real name apparently is goat willow, and here in the UK they originate from Lincolnshire, but they are just bursting out. We're seeing the pussy willows. They tend to come out, what did I write down, in February, middle to end of February. So we are actually seeing these right now, which is why I've picked them to paint. I've already done 2 versions. So I did this one on the left first, didn't like it. Then I did this one on the right, which I like a lot more. But I think I'm going to stick with the muted colours today. But I wanted to show you them because you can choose your background. You don't have to do the background that I'm doing. And obviously I didn't do my catkins very well here. The little pussy willows. I'll be doing them like this using bleed proof white. So what am I using today? I am using Saunders Waterford, and this is a cold pressed knot paper, 100% cotton, and it's 300 GSM or 140 pounds. That's the paper that I'm using. This is a block, so I'm not going to bother taping around it. I'm just going to use as is. And then this palette has got all of my core paints in, so I will be using my core paints for this. Brush wise, I think I'll just yell out the brushes as I go. I am going to wet my paper first, and I'm going to do that by using this spray bottle because it's quicker. So we're going to use that, and I've got a big brush here. What is this? This is the size 18 Da Vinci Cosmo Top Spin, but I'm just going to use that to get this water spread out over my page and to do my background, because I just wanted a nice big brush. So if we look at this, we've got, I think this was taken indoors, and I think that's probably like a doorway or a chair or something. But we've got some sort of greys, lighter greys. There's a little touch of a bluey grey and a brown there. So I'm just going to pick out some colours to put in the background and get my background done. So this is my colour chart, so I know what I've got where. And I'm going to start off with some Payne's Grey. And I think I might add in some buff titanium to get that kind of browny effect as well. It's always easier to do these kinds of backgrounds with a big brush. And I want it to be a bit kind of stripy, which is why I'm going up and down like that. I think we will also add some splats because we want something looking as though it's going on in the background. And I might give it a bit of a spray as well, like so. So I am going to use that as my background, and of course, as usual, we are going to need that to dry. I'm going to try and let it dry as naturally as possible. You can see it's all still moving about, especially if I tilt my page. Hopefully you can see what's happening there, but it means I will get some darker patches, some lighter patches, as well as my stripy bits going on. So yeah, I'm gonna see how dark that comes up and see whether I need to do anything else with it once it's dried. Back in a bit. Okay, so we are pretty much dried off, and we've got some, I don't know, things in the background there. They could be anything really, but just so that it's not a blank background. So now I want to get in some stalks, and for that I am going to be using a number 4 silver black velvet, and this is a script brush, so it's got quite a long point on it. And the colour that I think I'm going to use is going to be raw umber. So let's get some raw umber on my brush and get some of these stalks in. So we've got one that's just kind of going off the page there, and then we've got one that is coming up like so. Let's just fill that in a bit more. Get some more paint. Then this one crosses over. Like so. And then we've got one that's coming around. And then the other one is crossing over. So that one is also crossing over. And we've got 5 there. It's always nice having things in odd numbers. I don't know why, but someone told me that once upon a time, and it's kind of stuck with me. So there we have our little stalks. But next, a little bit more fiddly, is that we need the little, I don't really know what we would call these, but we've got little things coming up here that the buds are coming out of. So we need to get those in. Oh, what am I using now? Size 4 round, it's a Van Gogh. So I'm just going to get, and these go kind of in 2s, but not opposite each other. So we need some here. So they're just slightly off in actual fact. And then we need to add a little bit of green before we can add they're not particularly evenly spaced out either. I just want to get these little ones in. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk to yourself while I'm doing this. Perhaps we'll have 3 there. Okay, let's get a bit more paint. So obviously this isn't looking like anything much at the minute, but then that's kind of how paintings go. I find that there's always a, what would you call it, an ugly stage with paintings where you're thinking, oh no, is this actually going to work? Okay. And actually on the tops, just pull that up a bit, we've got like a bobbly bit on the top. Okay, let's do this one. Like so. Right, we've got those bits in. Next, we need to get that little green bit before the actual pussy willow bit. So I'm going to use, what am I using? Sap green. I'm still using the same number 4 Van Gogh. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of this green water. And I'm hoping this will be worth all this fiddle. Where did we get to? This is what we might call rather time consuming. But hopefully worth it. Get that little bit of green in there. Okay. And now I need that to dry before I can do the actual pussy willows. Okay, that is now dry. So on to bleed proof white, and I've got a size 8 round. This is a Van Gogh brush. It hasn't got a particularly pointy end, and I've done that purposefully. I don't want a brush that's got a pointy end, because if you look, these are not pointed. They're kind of little oval shapes. So that's what I'm wanting to do with my bleed proof white. Let's get my water in here as well. So let's start on the left, as I am left-handed, right-handed, and hopefully we will get a nice little shape. Yes, this is just the right brush. And I'm just pulling down to the little stalk. Like so. Can we see that, or do I need to come in a bit closer? I think I probably need to bring this up a little bit. I might have to bring it on its side so that you can see what I mean. Like that. We could probably do with going in a bit as I do this. So I will move it there. And then we'll start at the top here. What angle can I get this at? Trying not to turn my paper where I probably would turn my paper. But I think you get the idea. One's kind of going over the top of that one, but that's fine. That's the beauty of bleed proof white. And they all kind of point upwards. So that's something to bear in mind. So this is really a very simple painting that I think would be fine for beginners even. Got a bit of a bunch of them here. And I think it helps having this brush that isn't too pointed. So we're not getting too much of a point, we're getting a nice rounded edge. And of course we're going to need to put some kind of shadow on these once they're dry. We can't have them just, we need to add some tone to them. Maybe some buff titanium, looking at that photograph. Oh, that one's gone a bit pointy. There we are, we're getting there. So this is quite a relaxing little painting to do, really. Quite repetitive, but a nice mindful little painting. Trying not to do them all the same size. Says that nothing in nature is perfect, is it? So we don't want them all exactly the same size. And you can see that sometimes I'm having to go over what's already there, which is fine because they do overlap. Okay. Got quite a lot overlapping here. I might let that dry a little bit down there before I come back. And do some of those down there. So those ones in. Sorry if I stop talking, it's because I get engrossed. But maybe it's quite nice and calming just to have the silence and watch me painting. One a bit rounder. Go back to these ones down here now. I think it really helps having that little green bit at the bottom. The kind of little brown stalk and then a little green bit at the bottom there. Which I didn't do the first time round. So I guess you could say that this is third time lucky on this painting to see whether I like it or not. Okay, there we have our pussy willows, and that has to dry. Okay, we are now dry. So these are looking rather stark and white. I think if we look at this picture, you can see there's a very sort of yellowy green bit at the bottom. So I think we need to get that in there. And to do that, I'll come in a bit closer because you don't need to see me do every single one. I'm just thinking maybe my neo colours, just to get a little bit of the yellow in. So out come the neo colours. And now then, what colour is this? Because this is a real yellowy, well, Chinese green, but it's quite fluorescenty, but in actual fact that is what's happening with those at the bottom there. So I'm just going to get, or put rather, just a little inkling of that at the bottom of each one. And then you can see we just get that little glow at the bottom there. So I'm not being too precious about it, as usual. My favourite word, don't be too precious. but this is really bringing it to life now, I think. There. Now then, let me bring this up for you to just see how that makes such a difference. So if we look at these again, we can see we've got like a darker bit, and then it's whiter round the edge. So let's see if we can, I wonder if this colour would do it, or do we need something a bit more grey? Let me find my other Neo colours. Here they are. Because I don't think those are quite right. And let me see if I've got anything that might be slightly better. Now then, this is called beige, and it's a grey beige. So I think, come back here. This might do nicely. I'll just try it on one at the bottom here and see if I can just faintly get that shadow in, so that what we've got there isn't too white. So yes, this seems to be working. I'm just doing a little bit in the middle, very faintly, to give them more of a 3D effect. And that's actually working really well. I'm liking that. So this is quite blunt. I'm using the like a blunt side of it so as I don't get lines. There. Now I think they look much better because they look more 3D if I move that out of the way. And if I bring this up, you will see what I mean. But all in all, let's zoom back out again. I think that for a very minimalistic, very simple picture, I'm very happy with that. That's come out really nicely. So I hope that you will have a go. There's nothing too complicated there, I don't think. And yes, enjoy painting some pussy willow. Right, I've had a quick look at the community tab and my poll where I was asking what it is you would like to see me paint, and it seems that landscapes and animals are coming out tops at the moment. So one of my thoughts going forward, I've got these little pads of postcards. There's 12 in each pack. I think I've got 2 different makes. Yes, I have. I've got Frisk and I've got Sea White of Brighton. This one's 300 GSM, this one's 350. But they are both cold pressed watercolour. So I'm wondering whether I should do a little series of landscape postcards, maybe 6 landscape postcards and then 6 animal postcards. I thought that might be quite fun. You could then make those into, or you could use watercolour cards, greetings cards if you've got those. But they make quite nice little presents. You could give them away, make nice little bookmarks maybe even. So yes, a series of 6 watercolour landscape postcards and 6 watercolour animal postcards. So that's the plan going forward, and I hope to see you next time. Please subscribe and hit the notice button. It really helps if you subscribe for me. I'm trying to build my YouTube channel up, yes, thank you very much if you already have. Have a good day, everyone. Bye for now.